monkey business down in Tennessee. My Lulu made me fall, I'm monkey after all. Monkey business, now I see it all. When she rolled her eyes, it was no surprise how she could tantalize. Monkey business, nothing else to do. Just sit and parlez-vous like monkeys in the zoo. This baby show.
The zoo right across the street had an exhibit called Monkey Island. It was a hill, a man-made hill, and it had a moat all the way around it, and there were about 35 rhesus monkeys on it. We'd enjoy going over there to see them, but in March, this very month, 35 years ago, about a dozen of the rhesus monkeys escaped. But during the night, one night, some of them came over here. Some stayed there, some came here. And they ended up visiting us on the top of this building right here. The monkeys had made their way, the few last ones had made their way to this rooftop. It was sometime in the afternoon. The zookeepers were here and they were feeding them tranquilizer-laced popcorn. And they were all enjoying eating the popcorn. One by one they were catching them because they would fall asleep and they would either be near the edge of the roof line where the, can you see the crenellations, the little up and down places? Sometimes they would be in that area and sometimes it would be on the other crenellated roof down at the far end of the building. But the final chapter in this whole thing starts when we have a mother monkey and her baby.
Rhoda, the mom. Rhoda was the name of a popular TV character in the 70s. She was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and she had her own show later called Rhoda.
The baby monkey enjoys the tranquilizer popcorn as much as anybody, but being very small, if it eats a few pieces, it's completely tapped out. So it looks like the poor baby monkey's dead. There's a lot of confusion about what's happened here. The mother is carrying her limp, lifeless little baby along the top of the roof line up there. And at a point, she has eaten so much of the popcorn that she herself is getting a little woozy. And for a moment, she wavers and she drops her baby from her lifeless fingers. And it rolls down the roof, and there's a huge gasp. Everybody, including the zookeepers, going, "Oh my God." But as you can see, there's a gutter right under those dormer windows, and the little baby falls into the gutter. However, we had two students who were in a mountain climbing class. So they, unbeknownst to the faculty or the staff or the dean of students, got their ropes out and rappelled down the side of the building and then climbed up to the upper roof part, shooing the monkeys back down this way. So we then have the rest of the scene played out in this area right here. The poor little baby tranked out on the popcorn has been picked up by a student from the gutter and is being handed off down to this level just behind me here. Is put into a sling, a canvas sling that's been handed up there to them by the zookeepers. As they're beginning to lower the lifeless little monkey over the edge, the mother is very upset about them doing this, and she runs along the edge of this parapet along here and challenges them. And the student who's doing this is sort of afraid for a moment. It's a mother's love, you know, she's not going to put up with this handling my baby. But she stops, doesn't attack the student. The student goes ahead and lowers the monkey down to the zookeepers. So now we have the baby rescued. The zookeeper is actually giving the little baby some CPR, pressing his chest, and later we learned the baby was fine. It recovered and was healthy. But the mother now is very upset. She's separated from her baby. She's on the roof by herself. She's really very woozy, and she's trying to make sense of what's happening to her. She is being closed in on two sides by zookeepers. So now it's another kind of story. Again, of course, the crowd, especially the students, are pulling for the monkey to be able to get away and escape. She makes her way somehow back up to the pitch of the roof line, all the way up to the top, and she's standing up there on the very pitch of the roof just as a helicopter comes over. We don't know why. It has nothing to do with the rescue, but she's listening to what's going on. She's looking at all the people down there. The zookeepers are creeping up toward her, and she, in a woozy way, looks up at the helicopter, and at a moment that we knew this was going to happen, she turns into kind of a Queen Kong. She's up there going, "Go away, go away." She is running around the room over the benches and the tables and the desks, knocking things over. But with a fishnet of all things, like you would catch a trout with that you've hooked, they are able to subdue her, and the actual keeper for the primates is the one that picks her up and scrubs her neck slightly, and she relaxes and probably is glad the whole thing's over.
Here it was a family, if you will, a community looking at another community, both primates, but both responding in a way that was caring and fun-loving, and I think that's the way Southwestern or Rhodes has always reacted to something like this.
Monkey business,
Is he recording?
monkey business down in
How do I know?
Tennessee. My Lulu made me fall. I'm monkey after all. Monkey business, now I see it all. When she rolled her eyes, it was no surprise how she could tantalize. Monkey business, nothing else to do. Just sit and parley-vous like monkeys in the zoo. This baby sure did know her stuff. I said, I'm through, you play too rough. There's nothing to this monkey business down in Tennessee.
So you want to know about the monkeys, huh? And so you want to know about the monkeys, huh? And so you want to know about the monkeys, huh? And that's when where have you last seen Rhoda? Big drama began. And that's when the big drama began. And that's when the big drama began. Where have you last seen Rhoda? Where have you last seen Rhoda? Smart. She's a rhesus monkey, you know. Very smart. She's a rhesus monkey, you know. Very tranquilizer-laced popcorn. And then up to the top of the roof, the really high part of it, she was not going to let those zookeepers get anywhere near. And up to the top of the roof, the really high part of it, she was not going to let those zookeepers get anywhere near her.